What's up, guys? Rob here with Adventure Bound Off-Road. In today's episode, we're going to be going over the SwayLOC sway bar from Off-Road Only and why we think it's the best option on the market.
I'm Alfred, and today I'll be going over the components of the Off-Road Only sway bar. Starting over here are these aluminum billet blocks. These are what locate the sway bar back onto the Jeep's frame. We have the sway bar links, some various hardware, and some major components of the kit. What gives the system its dual rate is here with these two bars. Together, they add to give you the road rate. And when disengaged, this smaller torsion bar gives you the off-road rate. These arms are what these bars attach to, and how the driver can switch between the two different rates. So right now we have the sway bar mocked up on the bench. The lighter torsion bar is inside of this heavier rate. On this end, the two bars are connected by this arm. And moving down here, the lighter rate, it sticks out past, and it's connected to this outer arm, while this inner arm is connected to the heavier rate. Once you're ready to go off-road and get more articulation, you'll flip this lever and allow those two bars to separate from each other. And once you're ready to get back on road, you flip the lever and lock the arms back together. Here's the disconnect that's currently installed on the Jeep. We're going to see how long it takes Rob to disconnect the link and reconnect it. First, we'll have to remove the retain pin that prevents the sway bar link from falling off. This pin does have a tendency of getting bound up against the rubber bushing on the link. Luckily, we have the wheel off in order to get easier access, but this typically won't be the case once you're on the trail. With a couple smacks, Rob's able to get that link off the axle side pin and swing it up to the frame side storage bracket. Now all he has to do is everything in reverse. Next, he'll pull the link off the bracket and swing it back down to the axle side pin. If you're attempting to reinstall the link on uneven ground, you might run into some trouble trying to get everything to align. Lastly, the only thing Rob has to do now is reinstall that retaining pin. It looks like he got everything installed about 48 seconds for the one side.
Now that Alfred has finished assembly of the sway bar, I'm going to go through the differences of the factory and the off-road only. One of the major differences is the way that it attaches to the frame. The off-road only uses a billet retainer, where the factory is going to use a stamped steel and a rubber bushing. Also, you have a torsion bar with steel arms that bolt to it, where the factory is a one piece that is formed, and it gives you a good solid rate for on the road, but not so much for off-road. Another big difference is the sway bar links. The Metalcloak links are designed to be completely disconnected and stowed on the frame, where the off-road only links are going to stay in place with that lighter rate, and they're going to need to misalign. So they use a heim joint versus a bushing. Now that we've went over the differences, we're going to move on to installation. So now that we have the sway bar installed, the reason we ended up going this route was this customer brought us this brand new JL Ecodiesel Sport, and we did the original build with a 3.5-inch Metalcloak game changer kit. He loved everything about the build except the disconnects. So that was his one complaint. He brought that up to me and we started doing some research, and through our research we found that the off-road only was going to be his best option.
And for us, this is the first time we actually got our hands a hold of the SwayLOC system from Off-Road Only. And just by looking at it, the install and the fitment of all the parts, it's a product that's machined very well, and you can tell a lot of these components are made by hand on a lathe with care. The install went pretty simple. I would say between getting the old bar off and then this one on, I would say probably an hour and a half. It's a pretty simple install, and at the end, it's going to perform a lot better off road. It's going to be less of a headache, trying to disconnect and reconnect. And I think the customer's going to be happy with this one. So,
I agree. I think so.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode. I'm Rob.
And I'm Alfred, and stay tuned for the next episode.